स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are studying the 28th verse of the second chapter. We shall start our study by chanting two verses from the meditation on Bhagavad Gita. पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवम् कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। The 28th verse in the second chapter, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. As I have been telling, all these 5 or 6 verses, Lord Krishna is speaking against our mode of worrying. We should not worry. We should not go into despondency. No self-pitying. So he's repeatedly telling, do not worry, do not worry. So here too, tatraka paridevana. Why are you lamenting or worrying about this thing which you should not? So that is the verse, O scion of Bharata, Arjuna. All created beings are unmanifest before birth. We only manifest during this life. And again, we go to the state of unmanifestation. So, why should you grieve over it? Why should you lament? Because we came from unmanifest. We only existed or manifested for a short while, maybe 100 years or 200 years, or few people may live 120 years. But again we go to unmanifest. So why should you lament? Why should you grieve? That is the simple meaning of this verse. Let us chant this 28th verse of the second chapter. Avyaktaadini bhutani Avyaktaadini bhutani Vyaktamadhyani bharata Vyaktamadhyani bharata Avyaktanidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana tatra ka paridevana. We had already taken up the discussion of this verse. We had gone to the deeper aspect of this verse. We will continue. I took up a basic law of science. What was that? That law of science is called law of conservation of matter, or law of conservation of energy. And what is that? According to this basic law of science, it tells that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Same way, energy or force can neither be created nor destroyed. So even from the standpoint of science, matter, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Whatever matter exists in this universe, not even 1 milligram or even nanogram can be added by you or me or anybody, or cannot be destroyed, removed. Even energy too. Not even a little of energy or force can be destroyed or added into this. If that is the case, how can you be destroyed? Or how can you cause the destruction of somebody, Arjuna? Then why are you lamenting? Why are you grieving? So nothing can be created, nothing can be destroyed. That was the thing. So what is there for you to lament? Creation of matter is impossible, which means it does not or it cannot create or a milligram of matter. Then where is the question of death and birth? So, but we see it every day in our life, birth and death. So, is it not there? Doesn't death and birth exist then? Then what do you mean by birth and destruction or death? What does it mean? Just like just now when we tell that basics of science, that is law of conservation of matter or energy, then you may ask the question, Then what happened to the nuclear fusion and fission? At that time, so much of matter is destroyed because according to our Einstein's theory of relativity, E is equal to mc square. So now energy is created by the destruction of matter. So that mass mc square, c is the velocity of light. So much of even a small particle of matter of uranium is broken, fission takes place, then so much of energy, it is destroyed, matter is destroyed to create the energy, then you tell that there is no destruction. Yeah, that is not destruction. It is conversion of matter into energy, that's all. Nuclear fusion is also the same thing. So, energy is converted into matter, matter is converted into energy. There is no destruction. It's just a phenomena. So, similarly, then what about birth and death? What does it mean? It is only changing from one form to another form. Even in energy, how do we create energy, the thing called electricity, or whatever it might be? You see, there is a thing called dynamo, or you can see the generator. In that, there will be the magnet. When it is physically rotated, the conversion of what do you call the physical energy into electrical energy. Likewise, vice versa, electrical energy, when you send it through another form of magnet, there you will see the fan will be rotating. So now electrical energy, when sent through that fan, is converted into physical energy. That's all. So when you convert electrical energy into the physical movement of the fan, you see that there is the death of electricity and the birth of the physical energy. That's all. So it is transferring or transforming from one form to another form, nothing else. That likewise, this process, this death or birth is nothing but your changing of form, changing from one form to another form. So in that phenomena, changing from one form to another form is called birth and death. It's only a phenomena. One phenomena is called birth and one from one angle, and it is called death from another angle. When tomorrow is born, today is dead. It is death for today. When water vapor is converted into steam by the heat, so the conversion is called death or destruction from the standpoint of water. But at the same time, it is called creation or birth of vapor or steam. So just it is changing from one form to another form. You can give so many examples. Similarly, construction of the building. Now, what about your construction of your body? It was so small. Then how did you grow up? You are growing up day by day from the form of the baby into adulthood. So much of strength you have added. What happened then? So it was due to the death or destruction of so much of dal, rice, beans curry, dal roti, dal pita, then dokla, khadi, then idli, vada, gulgula, soji. The destruction of all these items, you can see the construction of your body. So it is death for idli, vada and all those things, then it is birth for your body. So it goes on. This is a cycle going on and on and on. So we see that we do not talk about the destruction of the plants or all those grains as death. Do you? Daily we are indulging in it. We are only seeing the construction of this body. So therefore, everything is changing from one form to another. So the previous condition is called now, once when it is transformed, that previous condition got unmanifested. The present condition is called manifest condition. Therefore, Lord Krishna is telling, Bhutani Avyaktadini. These living beings, or the form of the living beings, the physical body existed before. How? We didn't see it. Only after my birth, or after the birth of the children or the sister or the brother or the other people, we see they are manifested. But before that, we didn't see. That was in the form of unmanifested state, avyakta. It was unmanifested. That's all. That is what Lord Krishna is telling. All physical bodies or all living beings or animals existed before. All our physical bodies existed before, even before the creation, even before the Big Bang theory. So to put it in scientific language, all our bodies existed. But in what form? Not in this physical form, but in the potential form. Now, I'll give you one beautiful example. Could you print it? Where is Sanjeev? Has not come? Never mind. Don't worry. Don't worry. Swami Vivekananda gives this beautiful example. What is that? You know, a very famous chemist. His name was Humphrey Davy. So while he was experimenting on nitrous oxide, you know what is nitrous oxide? It is laughing gas. When he was showing to his students in the lab about nitrous oxide, the laughing gas, maybe by mistake, he inhaled more of it. So if you inhale a little, then it shows the external manifestation or the symptom of laughing. But since he inhaled too much, what happened? Instead of laughing, he went into a different state. Because he was a scientist, he had trained his mind in a very good way. He went into a very high state. Whatever the yogis, the sages, by constant practice of meditation, they go into a very high state. So now, because this scientist also was in that pure state, after even by inhaling some drugs or some other gases, people can go into that higher state. So he, by chance, by accident, because of that thing, he went into that higher state. Then what did he see there? He saw the whole. Now, after coming out of that state, Sir David Humphrey, when laughing gas, nitrous oxide, overpowered him during his lecture, he remained motionless, stupefied. And after that, he said that the whole universe was made up of ideas. For the time being, as it were, the gross vibration has ceased, and only the subtle vibration, which he called ideas, were present to him. He could only see the subtle vibration round him. Everything had become thought. The whole universe looked to him as an ocean of thought. He and everyone else had become little thought whirlpools. So now he saw the whole universe as some ideas. So now I will give you another example. Olden days, maybe in India or everywhere, we were using mud pots for cooking and all other purposes. Nowadays, we don't use it. It's gone. It's all metallic pots and everything. So, do you think the mud pot has been destroyed? No, the form has gone, but it still exists in the form of idea. Some potter may get inspiration, and he may go take the clay, add it, and he may bring out the pot again. Now, nothing is destroyed. It exists in the form of idea. Likewise, everything, you, me, and everybody, this character which you are worried, your body, you think, you identify yourself with the ego. What is that? You identify yourself with some bundle of character. That's all. But in reality, you are God yourself. You are the child of God. You are the child of immortality. You are Atman. You are Parabrahma Swarupa. But now you are falsely identifying yourself as a bundle of character with such and such movement, such form and everything. So now even that form, you think that it's going to die. Or it may take different form as old age, while disease, everything gets destroyed. Or when we die, you think it is gone. No. It only vanishes from this form, but it still exists in the form of idea. Even that is also not destroyed. So nothing is destroyed. It is only changing forms. Then where is the question of death? Where is the question of birth? So why do you fear? Then why do you worry that it will be lost? That is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Why are you crying? Why are you lamenting that your grandsire Bhishma, your Guru Dronacharya will be killed in the war, your own kith and kin, your cousin brothers will die? So do not worry, perform your duty. That's what Lord Krishna is telling. Through Lord Krishna, Arjuna, Lord Krishna is telling all of us not to worry about these things. Nobody can be killed, nobody can be destroyed. So even you take from the physical form too, you cannot be destroyed. That is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna. Therefore, our bodies existed, but in unmanifest form, and now in due course of time, all those unmanifest form of matter or particle have all been condensed to form the physical body, which is now visible to us in this form, like brother, sister, children, father, mother, visible form, that's all. Vyakta Madhyani. In between, they got manifested in this form. Maybe for few years, maybe 50 years, 60, 70, 80, 100, 120 years it may live. Even tortoise can live for 300 years. Some trees can live for 500 years. But it has to go to the state of unmanifest condition. So it came from unmanifest and it will go back to unmanifest state. In between, it got manifested. Why should you cry over it? Why should you worry about it? One day, avyaktadini nidhananyeva. Again, all these bodies or living beings will have to go back to invisible, unmanifest condition. So, the conversion from unmanifest to manifest is called birth, janma. And the conversion from manifest to unmanifest is called marana, death. You are only using two words, but the same set of matter is always there. And therefore, Lord Krishna tells Bhutani, living beings means all the living beings here representing the bodies, Sharirani, Avyakta Adini, were unmanifest before. Vyakta Madhyani got manifested in the middle. Avyakta Nidananyeva, again it will unmanifest. Now, another beautiful example is given. What is that? The example of an arrow. Who gave that beautiful example of the arrow? Matthew Arnold says, life is an arrow shot from darkness. It flutters in the light for a while and vanishes back to the darkness. Though we can clearly see this cycle of manifest and unmanifest, none knows where, when, or why this cycle began. Steeped in such ignorance, it is meaningless to grieve over the passing of either the manifest or unmanifest state. Now, another beautiful example can be given to make it for us to clearly understand. What is that? The ocean provides, because we are near the coast, Durban coast, Indian Ocean. The ocean provides a classic metaphor for the manifestation of the world out of Brahman or God. The vast ocean represents the supreme reality, the all-pervading Brahman or God. The world is the disturbance on the surface of the ocean in the form of waves and bubbles and froth. The beings in the world, the individual waves, all the living beings can be compared to the individual waves on the ocean. So waves and bubbles rise and then merge back into the ocean. They arise out of their unmanifest state, that is the ocean, the depth of the ocean, into their manifest one, and then revert back to the unmanifest. Similarly, all the living beings are manifested from this Lord and goes back to Him. So, it is only going back to that unmanifest state, the original state. That is the beautiful example. Another example is also given in India. Everywhere here too it happens, but let us take one example. The west coast of India goes through a wet spell of monsoon for 3 months, year after year. Before the onset of the monsoon, that is the rain, the hill appears brown with dry or no vegetation at all, as if everything has died, all the vegetation, all the greenery has died. However, with the first few showers, a green mantle covers the whole range of hills. Again, after the rain subsides, the landscape turns arid and barren. The phenomenon repeats itself endlessly from the unmanifest to the manifest and again back to the unmanifest. So it is with life. Now, as I told you, even our state, even this moment of us seated here, we are sitting here, this many number of people, I am sitting here on the chair, I am talking about Gita. This thing has happened millions and millions and millions of time earlier. It will happen again millions and millions of time again. In our Hindu religion, in Sanatana Dharma, time is not straight line. It is cyclic. Life cycle, nitrogen cycle, everything. Sun moves in its own orbit, elliptical. The galaxies moves elliptical. Earth moves round the sun, elliptical, cyclic. Moon moves cyclic. Everything is cyclic. Time is also cycle. Everything, life is also cycle. Everything is cyclic. So it will be repeated again and again. So if you stand as a witness and go back and watch, come after another, maybe next creation, the same thing will continue. But the Atman or the person inside you, sitting in me here and in you there, will be different people. That's all. That is all. But it will be repeating. So if that is the case, it is not destroyed. Everything is repeated in cycles. What are you worrying and crying and lamenting about? So that's why if you expand yourself from this little puny life, expand yourself, then you can overcome death. That's why now you can understand the beautiful statement of Swami Vivekananda. What is that? Expansion is life. Contraction is death. Expansion is life. Contraction is death. We have heard from many classes about only death and life and death, and maybe you might have got a lot of boredom out of it. Yes, that was to remove the fear of death and all these unknown things. Now let us understand, what is this unmanifest? We do not know where we were and where we will go. So should we know about it? Yes, let us take few examples or few words of Swami Vivekananda that will help us. What is Vivekananda telling? How do we come? Where do we come from? Where do we go? Swami Vivekananda puts it in a beautiful term. What is that? Swamiji tells, not unmanifest or darkness or something unknown fear. He tells, from freedom it comes. This creation comes from freedom. And it becomes molded into this bondage. And it gets out and goes back to freedom again. What is this freedom? That is, in normal term, we call it God, or Paramatman, or Parabrahman, or your true self. So you came from freedom. You look as if you have been bound in the form of these living beings, but again you will go back to freedom. So you came from freedom, immortality. You existed here as if you are covered by limitations. It is not true, you are not limited. It is just a dream. You will come out of this dream will break, the bubble will break. Then you will go back to that. Unmanifest means freedom. From freedom you came, Swami Vivekananda tells, and becomes molded into this bondage, and it gets out and goes back to freedom again. See, now you get some sort of solace. Oh, until we were thinking, oh, it was unmanifest, it is darkness, we do not know where we came from, where we are going. Nothing to worry. What is this death? What happens to us after death? What were we before birth? So no fear at all. So Vivekananda explains the question. This question has been raised as to from whom this universe comes, to whom is rests, and to whom it goes. And the answer has been given that freedom, it comes into bondage, it rests, and again goes back into that freedom. So when we speak of a man or a woman as no other than that infinite being which is manifesting itself, we mean that only one very small part thereof is man or woman. So only your true nature, that is the Atman or Paramatman, of that only a minute part is thereof is a man or woman. This body and this mind which we see are only one part of the whole, only one spot of the infinite being. This whole universe is only one speck of that infinite being, and you are that infinite being. This whole universe is also one speck of that infinite being. and you are that infinite being. And all our laws, L-A-W, not L-O-S-S, L-A-W, all the laws and bondages, our joys, our sorrows, our happiness, our expectations are only within this small universe. All our progression and digression are within its small compass. So you see how childish it is to expect continuation of this universe. You want to live happily here afterwards, like this. You don't want to get out of this. How puny it is. You want to have this limited existence when you are unlimited. How funny it looks, says Swami Vivekananda. I've been giving that example for many, many times. What is that beautiful example? You, from your childhood, you are made to study. So much of examination you have to complete and face. Come out of that, so much of difficult situation to find a job, to earn money, put it into the bank, save it from the thieves, build a beautiful building, and buy all the gadgets, vehicle, and do so much of hard work. And what is your goal of life? After retirement, after old age, sit on the couch, put on the television, then watch some serials or TV or some match, drinking a cup of tea, munching some popcorn. So this is your goal of life. The highest goal of life. You are dreaming for that, and all the hard work you are putting all through your life is to become couch potatoes. See what a waste, colossal waste. Is this our goal of life? And in heaven, you want the continuation of the same thing. Idle life, lazy life. Is this your goal of life? My God, what puny goal. We are infinite beings. We are the children of immortality, and dreaming such puny things. Why don't we expand? Why can't we expand? We should be limited. See how childish it is to expect a continuation of this puny universe, says Vivekananda. The creation, this universe again is a creation of our minds. You know, Vivekananda also tells in our Sanatana Dharma in Hinduism, we never call, it is in the Semitic religion, it is called creation. But in our Sanatana Dharma, it is not creation. What is it then? It is projection. Just like on the screen, the movie is projected. That's all. This whole, whatever you are, the father, mother, daughter, husband, wife, children, neighbors, everything is just a projection. Just like after 3 hours or 2.5 hours, the cinema is over, then you have to go back to your houses. Likewise, you have to return back to your true self after this projection is over. This whole creation, this whole life is not creation, it is a projection, says our scriptures, and Swami Vivekananda is telling. So, you want the continuation even in heaven. What is your heaven? In some of the aspects, the heaven is, you do this work, you kill some people there, you kill yourself in the battlefield, and what will happen? Then you will go to heaven. There will be 74, I don't know how many numbers, the hoors or somebody will be waiting for you to enjoy. This is heaven, is it? You want such a heaven? Somebody asked the question to that great scholar, then what will happen to the woman then? What is the type of heaven they are going to get if this is all made for man? No answer for that. See, these are all your projection. Your true nature is something different. In Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma also, the heaven exists, but it is a different kind. It's only a temporary thing. You may live in that heaven for 1,000 years. After 1,001 year next, the angels will bring and put you down to earth. Bhagavad Gita, it is coming after some times. That verse will come. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. The moment your merit or punya is over, just like after you have earned lot of money, by the amount of earning, you can go to choose 3-starred hotel, 5-starred restaurant, or 7-starred, or you can go to a cruise ship to enjoy your holidays. Likewise, this heaven, concept of heaven is whatever amount of punya you have done, you will go and enjoy. The moment punya is over, you have to come down to earth. If you go to a restaurant or 7-starred hotel, the moment your money is over, if you go to the casino or something, the money is over, the bouncers will bring you and put you out of that casino or something. That is heaven. And you want to go to that, you dream of going to heaven. There is still higher aspect. That is Vaikunta, Kailasa, and Devi Loka or something where you are constantly can be with your Ishta Devata God. Even that is not sufficient for our Sanatana Dharma, the mind. Then they will want to become themselves one with God. That is Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham. You become one with God. That is the highest. No highest or lowest, wherever you can. Where can you be when you are in God? Where is high, where is low? You become your own self, that you are. That is your true nature. So what is your goal? What is your puny ideas? How you suffer with these limitations? So much of suffering just because of your limitation. Expand, expand. That is what. Why are you lamenting? Arjuna, wake up. So, you want a continuation of this universe in your heaven, the creation of your mind, and expect to go to heaven, which after all must mean only a repetition of this world. What gulgulas you can eat some 10 or 15. You go to heaven, you can be going on eating. That is the heaven. You need not stop eating that. Going on enjoying everything. The continuation of this earth, that is heaven, that's all. No indigestion. All amount you can go on eating, go on enjoying, that's all. You want continuation of this universe. That is heaven. You see, at once, it is an impossible and childish desire to make the whole of infinite existence conform to the limited and conditional existence which we know. When a man says that he will have again and again the same thing which he is having now, or as I sometimes put it, when he asks for comfortable religion. We want comfortable religion. We bring down the teachings of the scriptures to our level to suit our need. That is called comfortable religion. And what is that called in Bible? Devil quoting the scriptures. So, it's all these things are a wake-up call for all of us. Now, we will go to the next verse. In the next verse, that is the 29th verse, Lord Krishna is telling, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschit enam Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha Ascharyavatchainamanya shrunoti Shrutva pyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. What is this Ascharya means? Ascharya literally means surprising. Now let us see what is Lord Krishna trying to tell in this 29th verse to Arjuna, and through Arjuna to all of us. One sees this as a wonder. Ascharya. So also another speaks of this as a wonder. Another hears of this as a wonder. And though having heard, none knows this at all. Nobody has known it. Why? Why can't you know about yourself or God? I have explained again and again. What is that? You can become that, you cannot objectify it. Infinity or God, if you have to see through your senses, if you have to understand that meaning, you have to bring it to a thought. That means you have to limit it. How can you limit the unlimited? That's why you can know a little about it. That's all. Nobody can tell I have completely known about God. The beautiful example given by Sri Ramakrishna is once few blind students from the school went to the zoo and they wanted to see how, I can't use the term see because they are blind. So they wanted to go and have a look at see again I'm using the word look. Okay, the elephant. So the zookeeper, the elephant keeper was a little sympathetic because they are blind. So allowed them to come nearby and because they can't see it. So he allowed them to touch the elephant. One blind person touched the tail. The other blind person touched the leg. The other blind person touched the stomach. The other blind person touched the trunk. Another blind person touched different part. So they were happy. We have seen the elephant. They went back to their blind school or the place where they stayed. Now, the teacher asked them, so can you explain what is an elephant? Immediately, one of the blind person who had touched the tail told, sir, elephant is like a rope. Is a rope. Why? He had touched only the tail. That blind person who touched the trunk, he told, sir, the elephant is like a hose pipe. Why? He had touched the trunk. Then that person who touched the stomach, he told, elephant is like a big barrel. And another person who touched the legs of the elephant, he told, elephant is a big pillar. So likewise, all of us, great sages and saints and prophets, have seen only a small part of God. And we write books and books of that, and we quarrel and fight and kill each other in the name of God. Nobody can see, understand God fully. But we go on writing, whatever I have seen is the right thing. It is just like the blind leading the blind and both of them falling into the ditch. That's happening. You can see how much of bloodshed in the name of God everywhere. Why? Because you cannot understand God. You cannot objectify the reality that is infinite. Then what is the solution? You can only experience that. Then what is all this process of ours trying to realize God? It is just like a salt doll. Doll means toy, because in South Africa, if I use the word doll, they will confuse with the eatable dal. Here, dal is called as doll. Here, they will call it as doll. So I have to be very careful. So, a salt doll or the toy, it wanted to measure the depth of the ocean, it seems. So, the salt toy entered the ocean to measure the depth of the ocean. What happened? It will get melted in the ocean because salt comes from the ocean, isn't it? The salt doll, When it goes inside the ocean or the sea to measure the depth, what happens? It gets melted and becomes one with the ocean. Likewise, when you go to try to find God, you become one with God. You will not be there to come back and tell how or what God is. You can become one with God. You can experience God. The moment you try to put it through the words, then you are limiting it. But there is no other way. We have to tell other people about God. We have to use this medium of language, at least to kindle interest in them, to know about that wonderful thing, to understand that at least to some extent through intellectual conviction, so that you can try to realize your reality. So that is being explained here. Ascharyavat paschati kaschit enam. One sees this as a wonder. So also another speaks of this as wonder. Another hears of this as wonder. And though having heard, none knows this at all. Let us learn to chant this verse. Now, all this time we were chanting this in one style. Now the style of chanting changes. Why? Because the chandas, the meter of the poetry here changes. It's like in Hanuman Chalisa, before you'll be telling Doha. So Doha means that is a meter in which it has been composed, the poetry. Then another time there will be Chaupai. There's another type of the chandas or meter in which it is composed. Likewise, Bhagavad Gita has Anushtup Chandaha, Trishtup Chandaha. Here the meter changes, so the style of chanting also changes. For example, you all chant, most of the Hindus chant from the Vedas, one famous mantra that is called Gayatri Mantra. In reality, the name of that mantra is not Gayatri Mantra, it is Savitri Mantra, the Creator God's mantra. But because for the first time Vishwamitra, while revealing the truth, he composed that in the Gayatri Chandas. It is a Chandas with 24 letters. That's why, because for the first time it was invented, I can't tell it was found or it was only rediscovered. Truth is always there. So Vishwamitra only in him, because he raised his mind in tapasya, that Gayatri Mantra or that Savitri Mantra got manifested in golden letters. So it is always there, just like gravity. Newton couldn't find it, it was there. Gravity was not waiting for the apple to fall down and he will discover it. No, gravity was even before there, before Newton discovered it. Likewise, all these mantras, it is telling about God, it was there. Only at that time, because our great Rishi, Vishwamitra, purified his mind, raised his mind to that level, that was revealed. So there, how was it revealed? In this Chandas, the meter Gayatri. So that is 24 letters. So now this particular verse, until now it was chanted, Krishna was telling that in another verse, now the verse changes. That's why the style changes. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Please repeat. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha. Ascharyavatchainamanyashrunoti. Ascharyavatchainamanyashrunoti. श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. We will discuss a little about this and then we will end our today's conversation because already our time is over. Here is another instance where the verse is taken from the Upanishad as it is. Many places we can see Lord Krishna is telling or taking the ideas from the Upanishads. So we can see Upanishads or Vedanta is a part of Vedas. The first part is Karma Kanda, where they have given Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, where you can do good deeds. Then Artha, you can earn wealth. Then Kama, you can fulfill your desires and you can go for liberation. Everything is provided. Nobody will stop you. You can enjoy life. The first portion, you can do Havan, you can do Puja, fulfill your desires, do everything. But the last portion of the Vedas is called Vedanta. It is only, the goal is to realize the self. So that is called Vedanta, end of Vedas, or all that is called Upanishad. So now Upanishads are the essence of the Vedas or the scriptures, which is speaking only about God and God only, about your true nature. So they are very, very old. So Krishna comes, they were all given to truth in the Satya Yuga, thousands of years, 50, 60,000 years back. So Krishna comes after Rama. During Ramachandra it was called Treta Yuga. Krishna's time was Dwapara Yuga, maybe 30,000, 25,000 years back. So in many places in the Bhagavad Gita we can see directly Lord Krishna is quoting from the Upanishad. So some of them have come from Kathopanishad and many other Upanishad. So now this particular verse is also taken as if directly from the Upanishad. So what does that mean? So Lord Krishna or any other avatars or any other saints, they don't come to break, they come to make. Truth is one, but all these people, all these great gods or goddesses or the avatar Purushas, the saint, they will come to make that. The same truth from the Vedas, they will make it relevant to that time. When it is practiced and practiced for thousands of years, what happens? It is degraded. People try to bring the truth, high truth, to their level. They drag it down and make it more practical, or rather I can't call it practical, they make it easy religion. So then the Lord again comes when there is degradation, avatara, then he gives the right fillip. Again it goes down, the Lord again takes the avatar and comes. It's a continuous process. So here you can see this particular verse is another instance where the verse is taken from the Upanishad. The content of this verse comes from chapter 1, section 2, verse 7 of the Kathopanishad. Do you remember what is Kathopanishad? Kataka Upanishad or Kathopanishad is nothing but, who has given this to whom? The child, Nachiketa. He was a very small child of 7 or 8-year-old. He saw his father doing a very big yagna. Oh, you can't understand yagna or sacrifice. I will tell a very big havan, homa or havan, because I have to tell it in your language. Small havan you do in your houses. If you do in a very big way, that's called yagna. So his father was doing some yagna to go to heaven or something. But in the process of yagna, you have to give lot of charity. So in those days, the wealth was cow. A person who has lot of cow was very wealthy. So the cows were given as charity, dana. Even now, the priests will ask you to give the cows and calves as charity. Even now, people follow it because at that time, cows were considered as the wealth. Now, here, this small child of 7 or 8 years is watching his father is giving such worst condition cows, the cows which cannot eat grass. It has lost all its tooth. It doesn't give any milk. It is almost barren. So such things are given as charity. So he sees it, and in his heart, Shraddha Avivesha. He thought, my father is doing the wrong thing. I have to alert him. Directly he can't go and tell, you're doing the wrong thing, father, this is wrong. So he told, father, you have to give the best thing of charity. He didn't tell that. In an indirect way he told, you love your son, I am your son, so I am the best thing of you. So you are giving all these bad cows as charity. Whom will you give me as charity? He asked him. Because I am the best thing for you. Then his father, in that busy schedule of the yagna or havan, he was so busy, he ignored him. To go away. Vajashravas, his father's name. Told, go do your work, don't disturb me. But that child didn't want the father. If he gives such thing in charity as dana, he may go to, instead of heaven, he may go to hell. So I have to rectify the wrong deed of my father. Again and again, he went and told, father, whom will you give me as charity? Finally, father got angry after repeated question, told, I'm going to give you to the god of death. Get away from me. People, when they are angry, father or mother, they will scold the children. So then he told, okay, I will go to the god of death. He was so full of faith, he went to the god of death, to Yamaloka. And there, when he went to the door of Yamaloka, he was such a great pure child that he could go to that loka. He went there and he waited. Yama had gone on some errands to some work. So in that Yamaloka, the god of death's loka, he waited at the doorstep for 3 days. After 3 days, Yama came there and saw this young boy of 7 or 8, the Brahmana boy, pure boy, waiting there. He was aghast. He told, what is this? You are waiting here at my doorstep without food and everything. So I have made you to wait for 3 days. Now I will earn sin. So I have to compensate by giving 3 boons to you for 3 days. Ask 3 boons. Then he tells, forgive my father, give him heaven. Is granted. Some other things he asks. Then the final boon he asks is, he wants to know about death and birth and life and immortality.